There is no way that they are in space.
There's no cars in space.
I'm sorry. I know I caught a Fast and the Furious movie where The Rock was laid up in a hospital, then like broke his cast off and took a Gatling gun.
That was like Fast and Furious 5.
Then
like,
I remember
like
also. Look, I don't watch these fucking movies. Just if they're on TV, he uses his car to get in 2 head-on collisions. Then finally at the end, the weakest of all the crashes is when we got to worry about his well-being, and like the power of love brought Vic back. The movie's the stupidest shit. All right, the movie's the dumbest fuck.
That was so ridiculous.
The movie's stupid.
I didn't have faith. Welcome back to All Sorts of Sports.
Oh, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
All Sorts of Sports.
Oh, there you go, Ryan.
You got me. Okay. Episode 72.
73.
I mean, you. All right, fine.
71 is a lost episode. I know what we did. The 71 is not available on YouTube. It exists.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Cool. Episode 73. Was it Maurice Hurst? I think we're 73. I don't know.
That is a deep cut.
Yeah. I mean, do what I can. All right. So we want to start this episode off by saying congratulations to Keem.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
He's got a
First father on the pod.
He's got a baby brewing.
You're a dad?
It's gonna be, yeah.
Hold on, gonna be or is it that? What's happening?
Going to be.
Oh, congrats, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I guess in the biblical sense, he's already a dad. Technically,
he's claiming his first one. I got it.
Yeah. So wanted to give you a shout out. And to some more somber news. Wanted to say a get well soon to Jaylen Twyman. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a rookie in the NFL who went back to visit his mom in DC, and he got shot 4 times while he was in the car. They say he's gonna make a full recovery, so
I don't think they expect him to miss a snap.
Yeah, which is
incredible,
right? Considering,
yeah, former HD Woodson alumni. DC, as is everywhere this summer.
It's
hot. Again.
It's hot out there.
Stay the fuck off the streets.
Stay inside.
Stay inside. Ain't about COVID. It's about these motherfuckers that don't know what they're doing coming out of COVID. There's some crazy shit happening. Dude, I just saw a video the other day. Two youngins came out with fucking AKs out of a car and shot up a car in fucking broad day traffic, got back in and just drove off. There's the couple in Humboldt Park in Chicago that got dragged out of the car and shot. Bro, this summer is about to be off the chain. Just stay inside, bro.
It's because we were inside last year and we forgot that when it's hot outside, it makes you angry. And people are back outside for the first time and they're like, it's 95 out here. No.
What's the 50 line? It's hot outside. That's a good enough reason.
Exactly.
It's tough. All right. So we have the conference finals, the 2 games set or the 2 series set. The first one we're going to discuss is the Hawks versus the Bucks. We can go to how the previous series ended in a minute. I don't really have much to say about the Nets. I don't really care. They're going to retool, get healthy, and come back next year. Does anybody really care about the Nets right now?
I mean,
not really. Right now. I mean, I think they'll win it all next year for sure. But no.
Yeah. That big 3 healthy is dangerous. But when you got 1 1/4 of them healthy,
I would ask you a question.
Yep.
Do you think that had they not made that Harden trade and had that depth with, LeVert and whoever, they had more depth before they made that Harden trade. Had they not had made that trade and had that depth there to help KD a little bit more, do you think they would have won that series?
I think that's where it gets into what I was about to start saying. I don't know if the big three are back in full effect next year, because I think that right now, the way that it looked, they never really had all three. They still look.
And that's why they're coming back.
But it was a big two at best all season.
But the aspect of like what you're saying, Keem, is that if you could lose one of these guys and get more depth, does that help you in a 7-game series? Like if KD could have relied on more pieces around him to put with those games he had, are they still playing today?
Probably.
I'm just saying that I don't know for sure, but I think it's an interesting lie. I mean, going into the playoffs, they had played less than 10 games together. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I mean, I'd like to see them run it back, but if you run it back with 3 guys that are getting up in age, doesn't get easier to stay healthy. And to think that unless we have all 3 because of our lack of depth, the 3 that we have, is that a winning combination if 1 or 2 of them go down? Or are you putting too many cards in on this particular lineup?
Nah, because like they did all that to get them pieces, and they're not going to let like a COVID season and then ship one of them off. That doesn't make sense to me. Like you got to at least see what happens when everybody's healthy, or like a regular year. Then isn't there like contracts like 3 years anyway?
Contracts don't mean a goddamn thing in the NBA right now.
No, but I'm saying like their contracts are like 3 years. Like this is year 1.
Yeah,
if you can move Kyrie for a bunch of pieces and some draft picks, you're better set up for the future.
It's the reason I said, I think a couple weeks ago I was saying if Brooklyn won, I thought it was bad for the NBA. And the reason I thought it was bad for the NBA is that I don't remember a big 3 getting together and winning it off the bat. There's usually a year of growing pains.
Yeah.
Boston did. Yep, Boston did. You're right.
One time.
But Miami, I mean, anybody else, they had to. You have the 1 year where you struggle, get right. Next year you come back and you do it. So I mean, if I'm following that trajectory, even though, like I said, this year has an asterisk, same thing as last year has an asterisk. Like, yeah, I mean, if I'm Brooklyn and I was so all in on doing what we were doing this year, I'm not gonna give it up. Like I'm gonna roll it again. But I just, if I heard that, I expect that might be something the ESPN heads or something to start saying just to keep things interesting. I know that's where my head went, but I wouldn't be surprised either way, really, like drastically. I can see them saying, hey, we don't need to put all of our eggs in this one basket if we're looking at a potential injury one of these guys, because depth does matter. But when they had all 3 on the court, they were an unstoppable force. So bring it back, and hopefully with a full offseason, these guys can maintain health, or maybe they start looking at what they need to do next year to rest up to get ready to ramp up for the playoffs, because maybe they'll be afforded the opportunity to.
Yeah, I mean, but that
and also maybe Spencer Dinwiddie comes back. Go ahead, Ryan.
That injury bug plagued so many teams this year, and look, Brooklyn made it as far as they were probably going to make it with the amount of injuries that they had to the key players. I mean, look at the Suns; are mostly healthy, and that's why they're playing so well. Like you put together a squad, hoping that you got the majority of that squad going into the post. The Nets had 1 player, 1. That's it. And KD did what he had to do, but he couldn't do it all. So
if he just wore his normal shoe size, they would still be playing.
Just saying, in the East, y'all gotta. I mean, there's a short window because Washington's coming.
For fuck's
Shut
sake.
the fuck.
God damn it! Even I hate you right now.
Right. I mean, hey, you take Porzingis. Maybe you could do something.
Would you stop? God damn, you're like Rudy Giuliani after 9/11. All you can say.
No. Don't compare me to that guy. No. Fuck that. We're moving on. All right. So the Bucks won that series, and now they're playing the Hawks.
Yes, they are.
K-Dot, if you have the clip, can you run it here? Nobody talks about the Hawks. We're talking about the Hawks now.
I'm gonna get so much use out of that screenshot.
I mean,
So Keem, what say you?
Yeah, what happened, bro?
Hey, I didn't think the Hawks would get it done, but they did. And then, they made it to the conference finals, and it's their second time in the last 6 years? Yeah. And so I'm happy for them in that instance. But that blowout, That was expected. That was so expected.
They dogged Ice Tray that whole game. And how many threes did Giannis take? Not a whole lot.
I yelled every time he did. I legit yelled every time I did.
I mean, once you're at 40, go ahead, Giannis. Jack up his men.
No, you don't. You stop doing that bullshit because it's not helping anyone when you're doing that shit, Giannis. I will say that no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, if Jason Kidd hadn't ruined his shooting form, maybe he'd be better at threes by now. But now he can ruin someone else's shooting form. But we'll get to that later.
Look,
shut the fuck.
Look, watching the game last night to me was everything I've been saying about Giannis for the last 3 years. I think ever since we've been doing this podcast, I've been saying the same thing about Giannis, which is that he's the best big man in the league since Shaq. Dwight flirted with it for a little bit, but there is no person with the combination of athleticism, speed, strength that can go down there. Who is stopping him? And
Wait, say it again. Who?
What?
You said Giannis is the best big man in the league?
Yeah.
Over Embiid?
Yes.
Over Jokic?
Yes. They just don't treat him that way.
Embiid is goofy
as
shit.
They just don't treat him that way. It's what I've been saying. No one can stop Giannis.
You have such a big hole in your game.
Jesus Christ. No one can stop Giannis when he is banging in the paint. No one is stopping Giannis when he's banging in the paint.
Just foul him. He can't make the free throw.
Jesus Christ. Look, here's
you can only foul him so many times before you don't have any players.
Look, the same, you could try it all you want to, the same hack and Shaq thing. The one thing you got to give Giannis credit for that Ben Simmons needs to get a little bit of is that Giannis don't give a fuck if he misses. He's still coming back to do it again. And that to me is something that a lot of players can learn from. The only thing with Giannis is that
Giannis don't care about being humiliated.
They're asking him, look, Giannis drags it out. Yeah, I'm a bad free throw shooter. Let me take my fucking time. And just, like, he doesn't give a shit. Like, there's a certain element of that where all right, I'm trying to get better. I'm not there yet. I got to really think about it when I do it. But Lord knows, next play, I miss that free throw. I'm going to back down on your bitch ass and I'm going to dunk on top of you. And that's where Giannis is. And that's the energy you need.
He should really think about shooting his free throws underhanded. Like if he's willing to be humiliated and embarrassed, I really think he should. They're serious. He should
just have him bank it.
I mean, that's what I do.
And if you bank it, the worst
shot, baby.
The worst thing that happens is you get a wicked rebound, right? Because that shit is bouncing off the back of the rim. And who's getting that rebound?
I just loved that Reggie Miller during the entire game, every time Giannis would take a three while I'm yelling at the TV, he would say, now, if I was around Giannis, I'd tell him, do you know why you're so wide open there, son? Because no one gives a shit about you doing that. It doesn't scare anybody. You're not doing anything. But what happened every time he'd crash? Somebody comes open because you have to double him. And they got shooters on that fucking team that just need the ball to do it. And I think Giannis is basically a fucking point center, and you have him drive that ball down the fucking court, and you have him hit the paint. And the thing is that every time if they double,
Jason Kidd.
He's a hell of a passer, can get the ball out.
Kidd.
And then beyond that, he can dunk in your fucking face. Because if you put any of the other big men, Jokic is not fast enough. Embiid will break the second game into playing him. There's so you can't do what he does. There's only two guys really in the league that are doing this sort of ball. Zion makes no sense to a certain degree. I just think Zion wishes he had Giannis's height. They basically just need to be the same guy. Because I mean that frame and that size and that speed, take advantage of it.
Well, I mean,
if you're that dominating of a force, like I'm telling you, this is not hyperbole. I'm talking about Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem with the skyhook. If you have something that they can't stop, you don't need to prove that you can do something else. Just do that.
I mean, if you look at if Giannis played the way Zion plays, in terms of if you looked at all of Zion's points, for like the first month. They were all in the paint, all of them.
Yeah,
he didn't take a shot.
Like some
he didn't take a shot outside of the paint.
I have a question. You just said that Giannis was Wilt, Shaq, and Kareem all in one?
No, I'm saying there's different eras. There's different guys that have something that's unstoppable.
I understand.
Shaq is annoying because of how fucking lazy he was after out the court. Like he could have been even more dominant. That's annoying.
That's
I gotta eat this cheese.
93 Shaq. Giannis is 93 Shaq because they had the same type of build. Like
yes,
93 Shaq, like built like that. He used to play not a lot of point guard, obviously, but he used to bring the ball up the court every now and then. He's that version of Shaq.
Can you imagine Giannis like gaining another 150 pounds?
Man, he would eating all that Greek food. Maybe
you'd give up. You'd give up. Right. You couldn't stop that. Right. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I'm just saying, if Coach Bud's played a complete game, he coached a complete game, and Giannis did what I've always wanted him to do, and that wins games. And I think Milwaukee's unstoppable if they do that. The only thing is they just get in their own way all the fucking time.
Hey,
the series is tied 1-1.
Yeah, and guess what? Which Giannis is coming out next game? Is it 3-point Giannis?
He's gonna take fucking 8 threes in the first quarter.
And Ice Trey's going to go off for 50.
Drew Holiday is going to be playing 10 feet off of fucking Trey for none of these goddamn floaters. And I'm be looking at Bud like, did you not learn anything?
No, I think he's got amnesia. Like he wakes up, he's like, I got to coach a game today. Better come up with a brand new game plan because I forgot what I did last game.
It's so annoying.
Here's what we're going to do.
All right. So we're going to move around a little bit. So speaking of, like, y'all were just talking about Bud, right? The person that everybody expected to take Bud's job if they lost to the Nets in Game 7 was Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle resigned from the Mavs. He didn't get fired. He said, I'm out. And he just signed a deal. What was it, like 4 years, $29 million with the Pacers? That was confusing. Well, I mean, it made sense for him to go to the Pacers, but I thought he would either go to the Celtics or to the Bucks. If I still think Bud might end up getting fired anyway if they lose the series.
But they won't lose it. I'm with you though. I think we'll look at this, a few years from now, man, they really needed Bud to lose that series, so we could have got Giannis and actually a really great coach. I'm with you. I think we'll look back at it at this because I don't think they're going to win a championship. But hey, maybe they will. They got a chance, and that could change everything for them. But I think we'll look back a couple years from now, 3-4 years, damn, man, could have had Rick Carlisle, just lose this series, whatever. But hey,
I mean, I think the worst thing for Giannis's progression is for them to win the championship and then Bud's there for the next fucking decade. But it was the best thing for Rick Carlisle probably to go to Detroit or to the Bucks, but
no, he went to Indiana
rather.
He should have went to the Celtics.
The other, I don't know. The Celtics are kind
of the Celtics pick. I will say that I like their pick because I've heard a bunch of great things about him.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good coach, but
and I think that deserves to be mentioned. And so
no, but my question is, I don't know this for a fact, but was the Celtics coach pick made before Rick Carlisle resigned?
No, I mean at least not announced.
Okay.
No, because they both were made this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know if because Rick Carlisle just resigned and out the blue.
Yeah.
There was a question as was he going to get fired by Mark Cuban? But Mark's not going to fire him because
we don't
have anybody better.
You know what the number one rule of quitting is? Usually, you don't quit until you have a new job lined up. So,
but yeah. There's also a matter I get the Celtics are as talented as they are. I mean that to me is one of the top destinations outside of what Dallas was, in my opinion. But I think New Orleans, Zion, yeah.
Zion's going to be out though. We don't know that.
I still haven't heard shit from Zion.
A winning culture, a winning team, he'll stay.
If I don't know,
coaches there.
You like crab cakes?
Everybody go to Maryland for that. But what I'm saying is there's there's so much turmoil in the New Orleans Pelicans front office. You had the whole thing that JJ Redick blasted when he left, how they lied. You had the whole situation with Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday, how they held them hostage without like sending them over because they didn't put a competitive team around them. So it's like, all right, now I'm the next like quote unquote superstar, and I'm just sitting here wasting my young years here.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you just described Luka and then hiring a gambler to fucking run the front
That's
office.
actually that doesn't make sense because my team won a championship.
Huh?
We won a championship
10
in
years
2011.
You're saying that the Dallas doesn't have a history of failure like the New Orleans.
The Pelicans. Like that's what I'm saying.
The Pelicans haven't been around long enough with that name and everything to say that they have anything.
Also, they had two superstars run through there that got held hostage.
I'm not
for a long time.
Whatever. Fuck it. I don't honestly. I don't care. The point that I was trying to make as far as the Celtics thing is that I also look at as far as front offices and I'm looking at power vacuums and I'm looking at Brad Stevens and I'm not entirely sure what that is. Rick Carlisle to me going back to Indiana makes a lot of sense because of what kind of coach Rick Carlisle is and the kind of players Indiana has. Sabonis, always got the kind of weird tweener types. He is going to be somebody that's going to be able to get something out of these guys. And I think Carlisle coming back as a seasoned vet, I've won now. I'm coming back and I can do certain things. And he's also worked on his personality a bit. I mean, he's always kind of rubbed people the wrong way, but he at least apologizes now and he does a better job in certain aspects of things. Like, I'm just excited to see him just because I think Indiana has some really exciting, weird players. And it's just, I'm excited to see what it is that he does with that roster to kind of get him where it is need to be. And I mean, you go to Indiana, it's not the same pressure you have in like a Boston. It's not the same pressure you have for certain other organizations.
He played in Boston, right? Like,
but
it was between Indiana and Boston. Like when he was talking about Rick Carlisle leaving, and it was like, all right, Brad Stevens is gone. Like Rick Carlisle's either going to Boston.
But Brad Stevens making the decision, and I don't know what Brad Stevens is making the decision. So I don't know what goes in to any of that. Look, I'm going into it. I always said Dallas to me was the number one head coaching position just because you have Luka. There's nothing better than Luka. I love Boston's team. I don't understand the Brad Stevens thing. How I was not necessarily successful as a head coach. They just promoted me to GM.
Right.
I still kind of am the prodigal son as far as coaching goes. I've never had front office experience. What am I supposed to? What are you like? I don't know if I'm touching that organization.
Yeah. I wasn't good at my job, so they gave me a better job.
Right. That didn't make sense.
It just feels weird. So like, and look, like I said, when it came to the Dallas thing, to me, the most important thing coming out of Dallas was trying to figure out who the GM was going to be. That to me is something I would want to know before I would ever sign the dotted line in Dallas. Because if I'm hearing everybody just jump ship, what's happening?
All right. So let's move on to Dallas. So number one, everybody wasn't jumping ship. Rick Carlisle left. Donnie Nelson was fired because Mark Cuban lost faith in him and his ability to do what he needed to do. So it came out this week that not only did Jason Kidd become the head coach, but Nico Harrison is now the de facto like GM who's going to work with Michael Finley and Dirk to advise Mark Cuban, because Mark Cuban's kind of the GM, really. It's like the same thing with Jerry Jones and with the Cowboys, but
it's a Texas
Nico Williams is going to be like the GM. So when it came out that Nico Harrison is going to be the GM, you had like people like Jared Dudley saying like, wow, they actually got him. Like a bunch of different teams wanted him like in their organization, but Dallas actually got him. K-Dot, you said that Nico was like Kobe's right-hand man, right?
He because he was a top executive of Nike, there were a lot of guys that came across him. And he helped with rehabbing. From what I remember, he was part of the team that was helping rehab Kobe's image coming out of a lot of the Kobe shit. Because Kobe, I mean, I have my own things that I've said, but it's he was part of that. Like there are a few guys that have run into Nico over the years, or at least part of his team or his crew that have had a lot. Dame, there's a lot of people that have talked about him. He also played professionally and
overseas, but professionally.
Yeah, but I mean, he was known, and like a lot of times, even if you're playing overseas and playing over here for like a little bit, you're gonna run into some people or play with somebody that played with somebody else or something. he apparently like at Nike, he was a well-rounded, like apparently like really big time guy there. From a business perspective, I understand having it. I still think if I had to grade the pick, I like it because I don't think Nico signs up for something like this unless that Bob dude's out. Like I don't see him signing that unless that guy's out. Like he's out, and not got to worry about him. Or
there's no power struggle like it was with Donnie. So
at least that
I think they have a clear understanding. Probably
they have to because
like
he doesn't need the job, right?
He doesn't need this job, no. But I also think that part of him wants. I mean, he's unproven. He has no front office basketball experience. Like it is a risk. But if it's a risk that anybody can take, I think Mark Cuban can afford to take a risk. And at least it's with a guy who is well liked around basketball circles. So even if he doesn't know how to do the X's and O's on a contract, he might have relationships that could garner guys saying, "Hey, I want to go play there." That to me is enough that you say that might be worth signing.
That right there is the biggest issue that I have with Mark Cuban. We have had a bunch of years where after 2011, right, he made the mistake of not re-signing Tyson Chandler. Because we could have, right. We didn't sign Steve Nash. Like all these big issues, glaring issues have him involved. Okay. And then going into it, we would have these years of mediocrity where we would win, but we would be like in the middle of the West, like not good enough to win anything, but not bad enough to get a lottery pick. Right. And we would say, okay, we're doing all this stuff so we can have cap room for this free agent class. Nobody signs.
They did that a lot.
And that happened every year, every other year. Now this is something that can come up and say, all right, we can actually get somebody now.
It makes them fun. It does make them fun.
That right there is what I want. So, I mean, hopefully we can move KP. I remember after the Hawks-Sixers series, and everybody was bagging on Ben Simmons. I went to a bunch of different Sixers fans, and I'm like, hey, KP for Ben Simmons? And everybody was like, fuck Ben Simmons.
Yeah, you were trying to take advantage. It's like fucking you're trying to sleep with a drunk woman. Like, stop.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying
don't say that shit.
I'm saying it's too close. It's too close to what it is that happened for you to get an honest answer.
Compare that to that.
I can compare whatever I want to whatever I want.
It's like sleeping with the widow right after the funeral, right?
Hey, that's a good trade because you got 2 7-footers. You want to put KP next to Embiid, let KP spot up and let Embiid dominate below. But like that's 2 years ago. This is not happening now.
Yeah, but I reject that fucking comparison because that was terrible. All right. But
I'm just saying, if you stick KP's contract with somebody else, it might be.
I mean, look at Ben Simmons' contract.
Huh?
Look at Ben Simmons' contract.
I get it, Ben Simmons' contract, but here, look, I think I said it on this pod earlier last. Like Ben Simmons right now, the only solution for Philadelphia, the really only legitimate solution for Philadelphia, unless another GM just happens to have amnesia, Ben has to shoot. There's no way out. There's no way out.
It's in Portland. CJ for Ben.
I don't think that
you can't really get another all-star caliber player. Well, a superstar caliber player. You want shooting around Embiid. Now you got Steph Curry. You got CJ McCollum. You're gonna be a little lack on defense, but hey, now you got a 20-point per game.
But if I'm Portland,
who's running point?
And I need to do things for Dame to keep him happy in Portland. How does that keep Dame happy in Portland?
He has Ben Simmons next to him.
Yeah.
You think he's going to take that as an upgrade over CJ?
Yeah, if you move Ben Simmons to a different position rather than point, and he's not.
The reason that backcourt is not good enough defensively. They're already talking about trading CJ from Marcus Smart, and that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade because they don't. The reason the Steph Clay backcourt works is because Clay plays defense. It's not just the shooting. It's not just the shooting. Clay plays defense. He locks up the defenders that Steph can't guard. And so that's the kind of partner Dame has always needed. He's never had him. And you give him a Ben Simmons type of player.
Daryl Morey trades CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons straight up, it's fucking ridiculous. And he wouldn't do it. Like, you're not doing that. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, what you need is a recency bias sort of thing to happen to Ben. If you hold on to Ben halfway through the regular season and you see what kind of defensive pressure it is, you're getting more than CJ fucking McCollum for him. Like that to me would be the biggest drop off ever. You were in an offseason in which you could say we were looking at getting Harden. Now we're settling for CJ fucking McCollum for Ben straight up. Get the fuck out of here.
Now I want to add something.
Dropped.
So that right there,
but that's my point. Is it does, but what you do sometimes when your stock drops, you still need to hold on to said stock in order to get something out of it. Otherwise, you're gonna fuck yourself going forward. Like you have that kind of no. It's just no. We gotta stop. Like,
is that Doc Rivers' fault?
No, Doc Rivers just puts together a bad game plan.
Doc deserves a lot of blame. Yes.
No. Somebody said that Doc, no, it was Scotty. Scotty said Doc should have taken him out of the game. And you know what? I gotta agree with that.
Yes.
Not everything that Scotty said was right. I gotta agree. Should have taken him out. Should have taken him out of the game. And so some of this is definitely Doc Rivers' fault. It is.
And then the press conference after that lowered his trade value too.
But as Mamba mentality. If you're not there mentally, you just not gonna be there mentally. That man is scared to shoot. That man is scared to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in his head. It's all in his head. He needs to go see a sports psychologist like LeBron did after fucking Jason Terry hemmed his ass up in the fucking finals. Him and JJ Barea.
Jason Kidd was guarding LeBron and Sean Marion too.
Look, the thing is with Doc right now with Ben is, to me, they are tied at the hip. And the reason they're tied at the hip is that you can't do what Doc did, which is basically put reporters on blast saying you don't know anything about basketball if you're saying that I should be taking Ben Simmons out of the game, and then throwing his ass under the bus as soon as you get eliminated. You can't be the common denominator in teams losing 3-1 leads. You can't be the common denominator in teams that just choke. You can't be the common denominator and know that you have a team that is a lot more talented and you end up losing. I'm sorry, Doc, you got to get some of this fucking smoke too. And if I were also Doc, one of the reasons going into this season I was so high on Ben was that I thought that Doc could get through to Ben. I thought Doc had enough cachet to be able to have a conversation with Ben and to get something out for him. It looks like Doc did what everybody else did. What was that? Bruce Brown did.
It got worse.
Yeah, it did. And when you had Doc defending Ben instead of calling his ass out the way he needed to, yeah, Doc, you deserve some of this too. And I also still know Doc definitely did send that fucking text message to Stephen A. Smith talking about how fucking coddled and everything Ben was. That's fucking Doc. And Doc did the exact same thing with the fucking Clippers when he left there. We're noticing, Doc. Just saying. Everybody loves Doc. I love Doc. But there needs to be a time and place that we have a serious conversation about, bro, you are the common denominator in some of the worst collapses ever. It's you. Not everybody else has that kind of resume. It's you. You're doing something. You're either not making any adjustments or you can't have the serious conversation you need to have with these guys. One or the other. Because you also look and he's had some really fucking talented teams. Really, really talented teams. And when he won those championships, really, really talented teams. So, I mean, we got to start. Is Doc just a nice guy to everybody in the media so he kind of absolves himself? Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So, and we can look at the Clippers team from last year.
But
it's one of those teams.
I think the team that you really want to look at, though, is the Celtics team when they won the championship. Think about it. They went to 7 every series, except for the final series. They went to 7 against the Hawks, who were there in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. The Knicks were not there that year. But anyway. In the playoffs, and the Hawks were terrible. They just had Joe Johnson, and it was
ISO Joe.
But yeah, but it was
ISO Joe.
It was just Joe Johnson and Josh Smith. And they went to 7 every series. He just doesn't. I don't know what it is. I don't know. He just doesn't do well as the favorite. That's the only reason they really won. They were the underdog. And that's the only reason they won that year.
He can't adjust.
Yeah, he doesn't game plan.
He can't adjust. Because if you see what Ty Lue just did with the fucking Clippers, and you're like, Doc was never capable of doing that ever.
And that is Kawhi-less Clippers.
Yeah, you look at what Ty Lue is doing, and Ty's making Doc look bad. I'm sorry, it just is. And if I'm Daryl Morey or anybody in the Sixers organization, I got a pair of handcuffs. I'm locking fucking Ben's hand in one, Doc in the other. Say, work on your shit. You got an off season. And figure this shit out.
Marriage counseling.
Of Doc in that he needs to be down. Like,
yeah.
Hey, Talu's down? Like, oh no. Oh, they're gonna win this series. Don't even worry about it.
All right. So speaking of like Talu, like another bad part about it was Doc Rivers' quote that he said when he left. The fact that like, hey, Talu was there too. And now you see where the Clippers are. So moving on to that, Clippers versus Suns.
Are you drinking a frozen Pepsi right now?
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Nice.
It exploded in the bathroom instead of on me this time.
Okay. That is a crazy soundbite. All right. So Clippers and Suns. I think the series is tied 1-1 or 2-1 Suns.
2-1 Suns.
Yeah, 2-1 Suns. We haven't potted since like this whole series started, and we were going to kill the Clippers again because they were down 0-2, but they won the last one.
Who is we?
Yeah, who's killing the Clippers? I'm not killing the Clippers.
I just want to say that they should be the fact that they should be up 2-1 is a great thing. They really should be up 2-1. Paul George crumbled. Hate to see it.
I love to see it. I love to see it. I
feel bad for him, man.
Yeah, it makes you all warm and fuzzy inside to watch it.
He's been playing well.
Yeah.
Like he's actually been playing well, and like so, I did feel bad for him. And I mean that happens. Dame has done that too. Like I mean, a bunch of players have done that. Like it's not a huge thing, but yeah. So like, hey, I think the Clippers are doing everything they should be doing. Talu is making hell of adjustments. Like he's doing basically kind of reminiscent of what Vogel did last year, as far as like not playing certain players in the lineups against certain teams. Like Pat Beverly, after Luka played his fucking ass off the court. I think also with one side note, this kind of shows you the difference between a Luka and a Devin Booker. So I just want to add that.
What do you mean?
So Pat Beverly's doing some damage against Devin Booker. Luka played his ass.
But Luka's bigger though.
Okay, hold on. Luka's 6'8", right?
Devin Booker's 6'6".
Yeah, he's 6'6". Yeah, I'm saying.
How much does Luka weigh?
Devin Booker's been eating.
Come on, man. You can't just.
I think Luka's a lot bigger than fucking.
Yeah, like Luka's a lot bigger. Number one, pause. Number two is the fact that Luka's game is different than Devin's. Like Devin's more of a perimeter type of game. He's not getting in the paint. Like that just goes against what Patrick Beverly's good at.
He attacks the rim.
Yeah, but Luka's attacking and trying to take your soul. Like that's why I said it was low key felt racist when Luka was doing what he was doing, because it was just like, I don't expect this like giant white man to impose his will against the black dude in basketball. It don't feel right. Like
it didn't work when he did it against Kawhi. So.
I'm just saying it never feels right. You're a white guy. Go over the perimeter and do some shit. Luka's like, I'm bigger than you. I'm faster than you.
Not faster. Better than.
He thinks he is.
He looks faster.
Nah, he just slows the game down to his own pace.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's slow as hell.
That's fair. But against Pat, it was just like Pat's looking up like I'm guarding my big white brother, and I can't do anything about it. Like it just
Luka's can't like. It's tough to deal with. Like Luka's tough to deal with, but I mean, if you get in his head, which is not that hard to do.
And also,
these sloppy out of shape white dudes just dominating basketball don't sit right with me.
Also, Devin Booker, in his defense, did play that last game with a broken nose and a fucking shield on his face, where he said, like, it doesn't really affect my vision. This kid has been lights out shooting since the playoffs started. Right. He has a terrible game the first day. He's got the mask on.
Yeah,
he needs a couple days of practice and he'll be just fine. So.
I wonder what Rip Hamilton said to him, because I know he reached out. I didn't hear what the conversation.
Well, that was his favorite player growing up.
Rip, was it?
Yeah. That was
his favorite player. I love Devin Booker even more now, man. I love this.
Devin's gonna come. He's gonna ride his 100 spokes into the stadium. He's gonna get out of the car and drop 50 in Pat Bev's fucking face.
With his enforcer punching motherfuckers in the face. Talking about Suns and 4. Like they got swag, man.
That guy is famous as fuck. He's doing commercials on Instagram. He's at the goddamn games.
Did you see the dude that got punched went on Barstool?
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to watch.
He did a post-game interview.
Yeah, he did an interview about getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you stupid motherfucker. But look, the Suns to me just got this swag. I've said it time and time again. I don't love Chris Paul, but I do love Devin Booker. And I also really like Ayton. And I'm sorry, that alley-oop was some of the most fun I've ever had watching basketball in a very long time.
Yeah, it was a replay of Grayson Allen.
Oh, that shit was just that was so beautiful.
Can we talk about
so beautiful.
how Jay Crowder? I don't know who his agent is, but
Boss Man 99.
Yo, he is like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the finals real quick with Miami, and then where am I gonna go next year? Yeah, Phoenix sounds good.
Do you know who drafted him?
Gonna go back to the finals.
You know who drafted him?
Oh,
we did.
Jay Crowder's a journeyman.
We put him in a trade.
He just journeys to good teams.
I think we traded him for Rondo. Yeah.
Jay
that didn't work out. That didn't work out.
I don't know why.
Decisions.
I don't know why I'm like throwing myself under the bus here or my organization. I don't think there's a worse team maybe in the history of the NBA that have drafted players that have not gotten to their peak with the team than the Wizards. If you look through the 90s and the players that the Wizards have had, or the Bullets even, you saw like the Bullets, like they've come through Washington and just they go on to win championships and do other things. There are a lot of people that made stops in Washington just to go on and do great shit, and just nothing happens with the organization. Every time people talk about it, I think about, we had both Wallaces, we had Rip, it's all these dudes.
I mean, didn't you have Rip after he went to Detroit?
Yeah, but still,
No,
I mean, it was before. Yeah,
I had him before, and
Michael Jordan for like.
I mean, Jordan don't count.
I just want to add they have not won 50 games in 42 years. Just want to add that.
All right.
Yeah, the Wizards are. That's a tough organization, though.
All right, going from one tough organization to another, kind of.
I hate that as a Washington sports fan, baseball and hockey are the only things I can't have.
The sports on the planet.
The sports you love the most, you're the worst at. The ones you don't like, you're actually really good at.
Well, I mean, historically, Washington football team is great, but it's like not since I've been alive.
Great or just good?
No. The organization, the history. Historically, we're a great organization.
No.
What are you talking about? No.
No. Like, what, you got to define great organization now for me, because like one title and like a couple.
I said historically.
Y'all have 3, right?
We have 3 Super Bowls, and then we have championships before that. Before there were such things as Super Bowls. So I'm saying is, we're looking historically, we're one of the great all-time franchises. I'm not saying that in my lifetime, I'm saying
some
like
of the great stuff is like bad.
Yeah. I'm just saying we were problematic. There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
That's a very gentle way to
put
that.
We were racist as shit.
I'll say you're polarizing. You're polarizing.
Polarizing, yeah.
You're one of the polarizing.
Good people and then racist white folk like that team. Very polarizing.
Shout out to Doug Williams.
Yeah. Joe Gibbs still, I think, one of the greatest. Joe Gibbs, three different quarterbacks, 3 Super Bowls. That's still an accomplishment.
And a racing team.
A great racing team.
All right.
Everybody loves Joe Gibbs.
Let's go back to basketball. We talked about the Washington football franchise too much. All right. Now there's discussions of Billups going to Portland. We were just speaking about Detroit. Big shot Chauncey. It's supposed to. I know, it says shop. I've been drinking. Relax. Big shot Chauncey. Thank you. It's my birthday party I'm at. Come on, man. Big shot Chauncey is supposed to go to Portland. I did see something literally like right before we started the pod. Dame is very active on Twitter, right? Before all this started, he was asked who he would want as a coach based on the names that they gave him. And he was talking about Chauncey and Jason Kidd. As soon as he threw out the name Jason Kidd, you had a bunch of people talking about his past and the issues that he's had. Then the same thing with Chauncey. So Dame responded today right before the pod talking about hey, I didn't know anything about all this stuff that happened when I was 7 or 8 years old, and I don't support it. I just said who I think would be great from the names that they gave me. This goes back to the whole cancel culture thing. But what do you guys think about Chauncey being the coach of Portland? And I also think that they're waiting to trade CJ like after they get whoever the head coach is going to be. So, what are you guys' thoughts?
Good fit. He's a good basketball mind.
Yeah.
And if your star player wants him and he already has those other qualifications, there was sexual assault allegations like 20 years ago, right?
I thought it was full blown rape, but I don't.
Really?
I thought so.
I thought it was this ended up being a civil suit. I could be wrong.
Well, they go civil because they can't necessarily win criminal sometimes. Because it
was still 20 years ago. I understand the cancel. I understand that cancel culture wants to go back 30
What the
years.
fuck was that? What in the Christian rock was that?
I was looking up the Chauncey thing.
Were you listening to Creed before you started the podcast?
All right, so now you're going to do.
I'm looking. Simply Safe Home Security was a piece of.
A shout out, Simply Safe. No, I'm just saying, like, I realize that people want to bring those things up, but it shouldn't prevent you from getting employment in the future if you are fully qualified. I think that based on everything I've read about Chauncey, he's going to be a good fit. I mean, he's a basketball genius. So let's see if it works out. I mean, Dame needs something. God, do they need something?
Yeah. I was reading on the case actually just a second ago.
Yeah, I'm reading now.
It's messy. There was smoke and fire with this more than you typically say with some of the stuff that people will talk about years ago because there was a medical examination, things like that. Look, I am not a judge, jury, or executioner. I will say that I don't know what Chauncey has done. Beyond that, I read what I read just now on Wikipedia about the fucking case, but it is what it is. If I'm looking at strictly from a basketball perspective, I think it's interesting as far as Chauncey and what it is that he brings that team. If I'm a Portland Trailblazer, if I'm in the front office, I'm actually looking to just blow the whole goddamn thing up, in my opinion. But I don't know. I guess from an X's and O's standpoint, I don't know how well Chauncey does with these guys. I really don't. Because I just don't think the roster is anywhere near where it needs to be compared to some of these other teams, especially if you're looking out west and seeing that these teams aren't getting worse, they're getting better. And as the Suns continue to grow, they're going to get better. I don't think Denver or Utah is going anywhere. I think that there are going to be teams that are going to be rattling around out there. I think if the Lakers come back and they're healthy, that's a problem. I think it's also a big if. I'm actually looking at that. I'm less worried about the Lakers actually going for it just because I don't think Anthony Davis has the frame to continue. But we know Golden State's coming back. Like there's just, I don't know. If I'm Portland, I'm looking at what can I get for Dame at this point because I really think that I'm retooling that entire thing.
You can get KP and $50 million first round.
Oh my God! Stop with the KP shit.
Nobody wants him.
With the KP shit.
People want him.
Nobody does.
I can also understand people looking at me and saying, I think people can say that I've lost my fucking mind saying getting rid of Dame just because he's a generational talent and like you want to put the pieces around the generational talent. I don't know who's available to really do it and to put together a team that's going to really hang with the big boys.
Yeah.
Oh, so lest we forget.
You wait though. You wait until somebody comes available. You could be Portland and retool, but like with what? I mean, people always say retooling like it's just easy, and especially
it's not. It's not.
Nobody wants to go to Portland. Like nobody's like, hey, yeah, can't wait to play to Portland.
I'd
like to play in Portland. Portland's probably my top. I'd say Portland would be in my top 25% of basketball teams I'd want to play.
Can't wait for it to rain 300 days a year.
I'll introduce the caveat. Athletic people don't say, hey, can't wait to play in Portland.
Your internet is all sorts of fucked up, buddy.
ESPN.
Nobody that's athletic.
You sound like a guy. You sound like you got a fucking stoma. Like
people don't want to play in Portland.
Look, Portland.
Rains.
Portland's got great
now you're
food,
back.
which I get. I think you tried to, before you start sounding like a fucking robot, I think you were trying to get on the fat people like Portland, not athletic people. But look, Voodoo Donuts is a thing. That's awesome.
Yeah,
but
that is true.
Portland also has more strip clubs per capita than any other city in America. Fun fact.
It's the strip capital of the world.
Huh? What?
Right, Keem?
It's not Atlanta. It's
not at all. It's not Atlanta at all.
Did you say it was?
No. Atlanta is the strip capital of the world. Atlanta and Houston.
This is
Keem coming from the Matrix again. There's an element of like Atlanta's got some top-notch strip clubs. Yeah. They've got some legendary strip clubs. They have strip clubs that songs have been played in that have been made hits because they played in those strip clubs. It doesn't mean they got more strip clubs than anybody else. It doesn't mean their strip clubs overall are better than most places. It isn't.
They are.
I've heard good things. I haven't been. In all honesty, I just haven't been. I just know the strip clubs in my area immediately. Baltimore's not bad. DC sucks. Really bad. Virginia's terrible. West Virginia have a lot less rules, but a lot less teeth. So there's just there's some elements. Whatever. Okay. I want to do a podcast about strip clubs. That's what I really want to do.
Keem, how's your email? How's your internet? Go ahead.
Apparently it's poor.
All right. So, yeah, it is. Because the next topic was going to be in your wheelhouse. But I guess we can say that for your final thoughts if you want to talk about it now.
Also, lest we forget, LeBron will turn 37 years old next year, during next season.
Nuts.
That does not bode well for the resurgence of the Lakers or his hairline.
Let me say one thing, just in response to what Keem said real quick. I get retooling an NBA team is not something you can take for granted, and it takes a very long time. And even when you do it, there's no way. Because even if you're looking at Philadelphia right now, this whole trust the process thing, did it really work? Like, they have talent, but they haven't won anything yet. There's no guarantee that they're going to win. And right now, it looks like you just need to have an organization that can attract enough free agents at a certain point of their career than which you can then take the next step. If that's the case,
Nico,
maybe you could do something. Then okay, maybe you could try to put together something for Portland and make it fun. Is Chauncey a destination? Is Chauncey a destination guy? I don't know. I think a lot of people speak really, really highly of him, so maybe he is.
Also, who wants to go to Portland? He's willing to go. Just sign the guy.
Yeah. All right, Lamar Jackson. Was it Pro Football Talk or Pro Football Focus?
Pro Football Focus.
Pro Football Focus put out their top 50 NFL players, and Lamar Jackson was not one of them. So, given the fact that nobody from the Raiders or the Washington football team was on that list, I'm going to be quiet. Kate, I think you are as well.
Yep.
Now, once this fact was shown in our group chat, there seemed to be a little debate between Ryan and Keem because the fact that Josh Allen was on the list. So, you ready? Ding, ding, ding. Go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, let me start off by saying that there is no reason that Lamar was off that list and Russell Wilson was on it. I will not defend that atrocity. Because what I saw last year was a complete meltdown by Seattle.
I'm in. No, whoa, hold on. Tag me in. What?
No, jump out, James. Jump out, James. Jump out. Jump out. Jump out. Eject. We're out. We're out. Let them hang themselves. We're out.
Also,
go ahead, Ryan.
No, go ahead. I'll listen to your Lamar nonsense.
I just want to say it's not just about Josh Allen. Like, you can leave Lamar off, but if you're gonna have Josh Allen on, then I do have an issue with that. Only because last year was Josh Allen's leap year. He wasn't not that he was bad the 2 years prior. He was solid, but everybody would agree he wasn't better than Lamar those first 2 years. I think everybody would agree with that. Last year was his, okay, I got Stephon Diggs now. I got a good wide receiver, and I made a leap. I'll show you how good I am. Okay, cool. Lamar doesn't have that kind of caliber of wide receiver, but he's won an MVP. And in their intro to that list, they said this is a projection of what I think these players are going to do this year. First of all, they mentioned that this is going to be a regression year for Josh Allen, and they still ranked him 40.
Wait, they said that statistically it should be, not that it is going to be.
But it will be. But it will be. And so they projected regression for him potentially and still put him top 40 over Lamar, who regressed last year from his MVP year, still was solid, but regressed last year from his MVP year. Now has a wide receiver core, has actually 2 good wide receivers now. Who knows what he's going to do, and a healthy offensive line. And so my issue is just that, hey, if we're projecting, I think we have to keep Lamar and Josh a little bit closer to me, because they also had Dak on the list and Lamar wasn't. And I love Dak, but come on.
Yeah, he didn't even play last year. Like, I don't.
Yeah, like, come on. Like,
are we getting the same Dak Prescott? Look, I think the Bills are going to be nasty. The Ravens are probably going to be good, but just in terms of like true quarterback play, Josh Allen is like what, top 4 most accurate arms in the league statistically last year.
Last year. Prior to that, he hadn't completed 60%.
No, and he was dead last before that. So if you look at that,
and so we got to come in the middle.
You look at that progression, he should be better than anybody who's ever played the game next year if he makes the same sort of leap. Look, he's got a really good squad around him. It's almost, apples and apples. I don't take into account like a lot of the people on that list. Like, quarterback's the hardest position to play in the game. And there's like, safeties in there. Like, I don't know who made this list and why they made it. Cause I'm like, okay, is this the actual top 50 best players? Or are we just like throwing darts and like, I guess we need a safety in this list. Let's put one of those guys on there, and there should be a left tackle somewhere. I don't take this shit into account. I also think Russell Wilson's the most inconsistent. He's like Aaron Rodgers inconsistent. So like, I don't know why he's on that list either. Unless they're saying that he was so poor last year that his only way to go is up. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's what
you said the MVP was inconsistent. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
how they do towards the end of last season.
Let's leave that there.
How they do.
No. We're not making another episode on Aaron Rodgers. Let's leave it there.
No, not Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson.
Can I make one point? Last year, PFF going into the season had Lamar Jackson number 8.
And they were
he goes from 8 to off the list. I'm just do we think he had that bad a year?
No.
You know what I think happened? They wanted to get some clicks, so they did this shit. All right.
I like PFF. I'm being completely honest. I think PFF really does a pretty good job.
I subscribe to them.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying they wanted some clicks, so they did this shit.
I don't think they do stuff like that. Like I really
What reason is Lamar Jackson not on this list? Then other for people to talk about it.
I don't know, to be honest. And that's the thing that me, because it's just like, because that PFF, like K-Dot was saying, I like them a lot, and they have a few people on like that work for them that are legitimate Ravens fans.
Yeah, we use their stats.
Yeah, they always big up Lamar Jackson.
But I think
so it just doesn't make
sense. I think the highest grading that they give you is what they're looking at as far as the top 50 for this coming season. So they say that there is no positional value in it. If you're just going to be one of the highest ranked, regardless of what your position, because they give ratings, then this is what they're saying the top 50 is going to be. Because, I mean, if you look at Lamar, like, I don't know if anybody can say he's outside the top 50. Even if you want to say he didn't throw for 3,000 yards, like he was 2,000 something yards, like it was very pedestrian. But his 2,700, but like his touchdown to interception ratio was great. Like it's especially great for a running back playing at quarterback. I mean, just amazing. But it's like what it is. I live in Baltimore. I get enough of this fucking Lamar Jackson shit.
I don't think Keem caught that though.
I caught it. I just want to punch him.
I will say this city's a lot of fun when the Ravens are like winning shit. It is. It's a lot of fun here when the Ravens are winning shit. And if you say anything about Lamar in this city, you could get shot. And that's not me exaggerating. You could legit get shot. So I'll watch.
I felt that way when I saw him like at the corner getting a chicken box.
Yeah,
like
man.
When I saw him in the hood getting a chicken box, I was like, all right, he's the city.
Yeah, no, Baltimore takes care of the people.
Yeah, I just think they might have mistaken Russell Wilson's Man of the Year award for an MVP. I'm not really sure what they were doing.
What is this Russell Wilson hate from you?
Yeah, like what did you?
What is this?
Did you want Sierra? Like, are you mad?
Yeah, did you see her at the game? You just got jealous. What the fuck is up with you and this Russell Wilson?
Like he doesn't deserve it.
I'm Team Future. That's all this is.
No one should ever be Team Future in anything. That's just fucked. Whoa. Hold on. Are you Team Future? You're Team Future?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on, but which scenario are we talking about? Are we talking with Russ? Are we talking with Scotty? What are we talking about?
I'm Team Future
with all
100%.
of it. With all of it.
Future is a problematic ass number. All right, I'm sorry.
Have you heard Dirty Strike too?
I can't stand his music. I really can't stand his fucking music.
He spent $100,000 on his wrist, little bit.
Hey, I still stand.
That's all I need to hear.
Designer's a better future than Future is.
The fuck?
I can't listen to that.
That's a terrible facial expression Keem is stuck on.
I mean,
that's unfortunate.
Deserved for what you just said.
I don't give a shit. Designer's a better future than Future is.
No, he's not.
I'm staying with it.
No.
This is over.
Okay.
It's better than anything Future ever did.
We're keeping
it up. All right, we're moving on. No. All right. So
Timmy Turner freestyle is better than
K-Dot, shut up. All right. So the biggest news the biggest news that came out this week in the NFL is Carl Nassib. Look at the bullshit you just did. Shut up. Carl Nassib went on Instagram Live, or just Instagram in general, and did a story saying that he was gay. He is now the first active NFL player to announce that he's gay. Congrats to Carl. Live your truth, as everybody said. There was rumblings beforehand. I will say, because I'm a Raiders fan, of course. After as soon as the offseason started, there was talks about all right, we need to let some people go because our defense is trash. And Carl's name came up. But I mean, if he had this big ass burden on him, we'll see what happens starting this year. So congrats to Carl.
Yeah, he got massive amounts of support.
As he should.
His jersey superseded Tim Tebow's jersey as the highest selling jersey in the league, which is awesome. And look, I know kids that played at different universities, a lot of linemen, honestly, who are all gay and mostly closeted, just because that's the culture. But there's plenty of gay people playing in all across professional sports. So good for him. It's going to open the door for a lot of other people to be able to hopefully get that burden off their chest, and just live
and normalize it.
Yeah, and just it's a normal thing,
I think I just want to applaud him as well. That's great. I can't wait till we get to the point where this isn't a thing where players actually even feel like they have to. If you're gay, you're gay. I don't care. It's none of my business, man. You know what I'm saying? Live your, like you said, live your truth. And I just can't wait till we get to the point where players feel comfortable enough where they don't have to say, come out, or they can just live their truth how they are.
Right. I mean, it shouldn't. I don't get. You don't see other players. Russell Wilson, a straight quarterback. It's not right. It's just they're just he's a quarterback.
What you do in your bedroom doesn't have any effect on me.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it shouldn't have any effect.
It's oh yeah, Russell Wilson. Sorry, Russell, but Russell Wilson has a foot fetish or some shit. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Future.
I don't care that K-Dot is a masochist. I don't care. I don't care that he puts the little rubber ball in his mouth and thing. I don't that doesn't matter, at all.
Right. It's we still here podding. Nothing matters.
I don't think he quite understands my history that much. Like, do you really
I know
want to go down
that's
the road?
that's
Nope.
the funny
Like he doesn't know how.
That's
like
a separate pod. I'm
Like
muting.
they know a little bit about my history.
Muting. I have to mute him.
No,
that,
all right,
that day was
No.
so funny.
Let's continue on. Next topic. We gotta go.
It's not next topic. I got something to say. Carl. Look, the idea. I don't know if I'd equate this with think what some of you guys were saying as far as like masochism or BDSM or anything like that.
No,
it's not. It's not that. It's like being able to just exist and love the person you want to love. Like that's a thing that like. It's not just, hey, it's not the stereotypical shit that people talk about when it comes to gays. Like, oh, I want to wear booty shorts and fly my rainbow flag. No, I just want to be able to exist in my own skin is what Carl is saying. And I think the thing to me that this is in the NFL, probably more than any other sport, there is so much toxic masculinity within the sport. And I think you're starting to see some of that tide start to change. And it takes things like this. Is he the first player to ever come out? No, I remember Michael Sam's not too long ago, but he wasn't an active roster player. Right, I get it. So him doing it is a big step, and I hope that more people feel comfortable. But I put this along more of the lines of Dak Prescott talking about his mental health, Kevin Love talking about his mental health. The idea that there are these things that people have been railroaded against for speaking their truth on. I mean, let's call it a buck. James, how many gay jokes have you gotten about the Raiders since Carl came out?
Oh, a couple. I sent you guys a text,
including one where somebody tried to make a Penn State fucking problematic joke within it, not throwing anybody's name out there. But I'm just saying there is a certain element that people, especially men, are not fucking mature enough to have these goddamn conversations. And I think that you're not going to see the end of this. I wanting to see what happened. Like his jersey selling as much to me is a good thing. It's a huge thing, especially Pride Month. Like if I'm looking at the NFL, I'm just saying that was a lucrative decision. But outside of that, there is this like part of me worries that you're gonna start. Maybe you're gonna hear some fans say some problematic shit. Like you're gonna like they're.
Of course, that's happening.
I think that's gonna happen, right? And I wonder what the next course of discourse is. I really do wonder where we really are, because in that same token, I was on Twitter. There were a ton of those fucking Raider gay jokes, and I'm like, really, like it just, I don't know. There's so much problematic shit, and I think the league is doing their best to try to combat it. It just, at least we're like, you even go as far as Ronnie Lott cutting off his fucking finger to go play in a goddamn game. It's toxic shit. Under no circumstance should a game be that important where you're cutting off your fucking finger to go back in. Or dudes getting concussed to say, no, I got to man up. I got to man up and get back in the fucking game.
Kids are getting concussed.
It's like, ridiculous. So I just, as long as the conversation is an honest one that we're all having, and I am happy for him being able to speak his truth. I am so happy for him. Because I can't imagine what that's like. I can't imagine what that's like for all those years, wanting to be truthful about who you are, and you've got to worry about, can I trust this guy or this person to do it? So I give him all the credit in the world, and I hope he's a lot happier because of it.
And I hope he sees all the love that he's been getting
absolutely
and everything, and especially like including the teammates and everybody like saying all that stuff. So congrats to Carl for real. All right. Final thoughts. Who wants to go?
Are we doing the rapper thing? Are we still doing that?
Let's put a pin on that until next time.
Okay.
So we can get James out of here.
All right, exactly. We're gonna do best state.
Yeah.
Best state.
Okay.
And is this historically best state? I think we want to do two, historically and power rankings.
I'm claiming Tupac, by the way.
Gotcha. You kind of can. I don't know.
You can't claim Pac, but I want to hear you try to justify it.
Okay, I can. Because all right, so my final thought, I'm gonna go first. Happy birthday, Mom. Yesterday was her birthday. I am currently at my parents' house doing a birthday party. So after this, I'm gonna go drink some more Modelo's and take more shots.
Hey, and my final thought is gonna be real quick. Happy birthday, James, on Tuesday. I don't know if we're going to pod before then. How old you turning? 37? 39?
No, Magic Johnson.
32.
Hey, here we go.
Can't wait to celebrate with you guys.
Just check myself on the toxic masculinity joke. Good.
I might go down there on Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah.
Especially if they show up and we can record something right quick. Fuck it. You ain't gotta wait to open the pack. I'll just be.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Yes.
All right. My final thought. Also, happy birthday to my guy James.
Appreciate it.
Happy birthday to your mom as well.
Thank you.
And I saw Fast and Furious 9 the other day, and I just want to say I'm like the biggest Fast and Furious fan. I love all those movies, and it's about time that they stop.
Damn, I was about to see it tonight.
No, you should go see it. But okay, I'll say this. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. It's a Fast and Furious movie, but it's probably one of the weaker installments of late.
Okay, fair enough.
Aren't they in space in this one?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Nah, man, they're not in fucking space.
And I can't wait till they battle the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park and team up with the Transformers, and then to take down the kaiju from Pacific Rim with Godzilla and King Kong. The next one.
Your internet actually made you sound like a Transformer for a second. That was perfect timing.
There is no way that they are in space.
There's no cars in space.
I'm sorry. I know I caught a Fast and Furious movie where The Rock was laid up in a hospital, then like broke his cast off and took a Gatling gun.
That was like Fast and Furious 5.
Then
like,
I remember
like
also. Like, I don't watch these fucking movies. Just if they're on TV, he uses his car to get in 2 head-on collisions. Then finally at the end, the weakest of all the crashes is when we got to worry about his well-being, and like the power of love brought Vic back. The movie's the stupidest shit. All right, the movie's the dumbest fuck.
That was so ridiculous.
Stupid.
I didn't have faith when I saw like John Cena in this movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is Dom's long.
As Dom's brother, Fast and Furious is dumb as shit. Although the fucking the heist of the safe in Brazil is one of the greatest shot scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Like that is incredibly.
I was actually just thinking about that scene.
It's incredibly dumb.
And I'm like, how did we get from that to this?
No, the best scene.
They've always been bad.
No, when they're driving under the cars, that's the shit.
Of all the ridiculous stunts they've done, the fact that John Cena is his brother is where people are like, okay.
No.
It's like hilarious.
Ludacris went from being a chop shop owner in Too Fast, Too Furious to be able to hack government systems with a fucking laptop. What is that? It makes no sense.
Neither does all the magnets.
Dude, the movie. I'm sorry. Fast and Furious is the dumbest goddamn movie franchise maybe ever. It's right up there with Transformers. I get it. But the thing is, you've grown up with the movie ever since you're young. There's a nostalgia factor. There's a amount of time and effort that you've already put into it. So you got to keep rocking with it. And I understand people like being a part of the family. When Paul Walker passes away, that tugs at your heartstrings. It is a thing. I get it. But when I watch the fucking commercial and Vice Media has a quote saying, this is the franchise of our generation, I'm like, fuck you. Okay? It's some horse shit. Marvel 10 times over 10 over anything they're doing. Yeah. All right, my final thought.
Marvel over Fast. I'll take that.
I'm Harry Potter over fucking Fast. So a franchise.
Half-Blood Prince is terrible.
Final thought. I gotta go.
Tyler, the creator, you've done it, sir.
Great album.
3 in a row. Complete fucking awesome. There is now the conversation that needs to happen. I said Igor was the best album, I think, in the last like 2 years that have come out. This is there. I don't think it might not be Igor level to me just yet, but I also need to listen to it more. Mm-hmm. Tyler, he's now reached a level of Kanye like where he's getting the best out of the artist that he puts on these tracks, which is insane. What Kanye was
finish.
Yeah, Jesus. No, come on. I understand. You got to listen to complete thought of comparing somebody to Kanye. Come on. You don't just take a snippet. Like it's like Kanye, what he's able to do as far as take some guys that you wouldn't necessarily think fit on a particular song, but get the absolute best out of them. Wayne sounded the best I've heard him in a very fucking long time on that goddamn track. NBA young boy, who the fuck was he's on this thing? And I'm like, I'm listening to you now and I'm enjoying this. Like, what the fuck? Pharrell, like, it's just Tyler is on another goddamn creative plane right now. And I thought that this album had to be a letdown. I thought it had to be a letdown. And he's rocking it with like his fucking audio Wes Anderson shit, like Black Wes Anderson. Like it's just some weird shit. But if you haven't listened to it, it's fucking awesome. It's dope as shit.
And if you really like DJ Drama, just scream.
Oh my god, that shit is so dope. It's fucking drama, man. Like it's
a little too much, but whatever.
No, it's awesome. We on a fucking PJ right now. My toes,
got our toes out. I'm like, fam, like, why are you talking about your toes being out? But whatever.
I just got fed vanilla ice cream by this bitch.
It's a flex, man.
And my toes is out. No.
Hey, that's a flex.
Put your toes away.
Sun's out, toes out, bitch. Succession. You on a yacht? You can't wear shoes on a yacht.
I will see y'all later.
All right. Happy birthday, dude. Enjoy.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
Dallas is a mess. If you didn't know, now you know, because I told you ass.